Boyfriend introduced girl he slept with as like a sister. That's weird, right? Okay, my boyfriend and I have been together for just over a year and things are going swell. Overall no main issues but the occasional surprise that makes me question if he is actually a sneaky dude in sheep's clothing. Maybe it's not personal, maybe I would feel this way with any boyfriend after my last. It's hard to tell. When we first starting dating he mentioned that he had slept with a few close friends. I generally said that makes me uneasy and I didn't want to know more at the moment. Almost immediately after that, I said it would a relief if I just knew rather than wondering, but he brushed it off. In our time together I asked about some specific friends BC. I was curious but never really knew who it was he had previously been with. I didn't dwell on it too much. Today I asked him point blank and found out he had slept with a girl, before we dated, that he introduced me to as like a sister. I remember feeling interviewed by this girl and brushing it off as just a long-term friend who was interested in who her friend was dating. But now, that seems pretty icky. It feels like he was sort of covering it up with a weird choice of phrasing and I feel like a fool. Another girl I learned about, he once blew me off to go to bonfire at her house that he had originally invited me to and then just went without me. I was annoyed when it happened but that was even before I knew they had been together. I'm not generally a jealous partner but this seems shady, right? Nothing is concrete wrong but my gut tells me this is sneaky wording or behavior. That reminds me of an ex of mine. He was very close friends with girls he slept with before. It bugged me a lot back then, and I felt really uncomfortable, especially sitting together with his parents and his ex on Christmas Eve one year. That's just not how I imagine my relationship. He also took some similar choices like your boyfriend with the bonfire at times. I do however still trust that he never cheated on me, since he's always honest and upfront. But he's also a hippie type of guy, which explains that in my case. I would actually also still be friends with him and hang out, without anything sexual involved. But I simply don't want to make my current boyfriend jealous. You can't force him to toss people out of his life that he likes. If he's not understanding you, maybe you have a communication problem, or you're just very different in lifestyles. I was not able to overcome my jealousy. It was a big issue for me and I couldn't imagine sharing my future with his exes. Talk to him about it, tell him how you genuinely feel and try to find a way that works for you both. If that doesn't work, find out if that is a long-term relationship you want to be in. Even relationships always come with compromise, from both sides. But sometimes it's a no-fit even if you love a person. Another girl I learned about, he once blew me off to go to bonfire at her house that he had originally invited me to and then just went without me. I was annoyed when it happened but that was even before I knew they had been together. This part is a bit shady. The like a sister thing doesn't bother me, as people have mentioned, they've had sex with longtime friends who they now view as siblings. That's probably what he is doing and that's fine. I can even see why he might be reticent to tell you which of his friends he slept with since you first said you didn't want to know. Maybe he thought you wouldn't be able to handle it and was trying to spare you. Not super kosher, but well-meaning in a way. That said, he should tell you, because someone else might mention his past flings and it would hurt more to hear from one of his friends than from him. However, that bonfire thing? Shady AF. I would ask him point blank if he ever cheated. Be firm, don't waver, look him directly in the eye. His reaction should tell you what you need to know. If it turns out he hasn't cheated, talk to him about how him uninviting you to a bonfire to hang out with a girl he previously slept with made you feel. I don't think him viewing someone he slept with before like a sister is in itself weird. I mean, feelings and relationships change. Other than this, does he act shady in any other ways? Being secretive about his phone, going out and coming back at odd hours, or anything else that would be suspicious? No, it seems you are mismatched. People have different values associated with sex. Some are casual and some are not. He seems to be casual in his approach to physical intimacy and you seem to be more exclusive and emotionally attached. I am like you, not judging you. Best to accept his views as his own. If you are being triggered by his perspective, then you need to reconsider this relationship for long term. I do know people that had an intimate past and yet do not feel attracted anymore and have evolved into friends. Wife 42F cheated 3 years ago. I 44M told her we'd work it out, but I'm just angry, I can't. 3 years ago she had a drunk one-night stand with a random man she met while she was out with her friends. Apparently they used protection. I don't believe her because she was adamant about getting tested, but she came back clean anyway. She told me the morning after it happened and said sorry a lot. At the time I didn't know what to say or do, so I said that it was fine and we'd get past it. Not what I was thinking, but what I was actually thinking was bad, so I went to my happy place. In the following week we had a lot of good sex, but then for me it just died and has been that way since. She did want sex with me for a while afterwards and enjoyed it, but she stepped off because I wasn't interested. We went to marriage counseling for a few months at her request because apparently it would help us talk things through, and towards the end of it I think she felt like we were getting somewhere, but to me it was just making me angrier and angrier and angrier, so I refused to keep going after 5 months. Honestly, I'm just bottling up so much anger. Sometimes I look at her and want to rip her throat out, but at other times I see her and I just want to cry and shoot myself. On one hand, I really need this to work because we have a daughter together. She's 10. I did a really bad thing and got a paternity test because I was betting to myself, and kind of hoping actually, that she weren't mine. I'm an idiot anyway because she has some of my features. I just really wanted her to not be mine so badly. She is mine obviously. But now there's the other hand. I fucking hate this place and I want to go home. If we divorced I wouldn't even be able to afford to go home anyway, so I'm trapped here. Obviously I'm not going to, but every day that passes makes offing myself seem less ridiculous. She's trying to stitch things back together as best she can, but it just serves to make me more angry. We don't really spend time together anymore unless it's in silence. I do love her, but I also hate her. I'm done bitching now. What should I do? Doesn't really feel like I'm able to do anything other than just put up with it though. Reach out to family members to see if they can help get you home. Your situation doesn't seem healthy for you or your daughter. Do what's best for you, because if you can't help yourself, you won't be able to help your daughter or give her a happy life. You should probably see a psychiatrist, not for the meds, but for coping strategies that will help you get over this stage of your life. Because after all, this is temporary, nothing lasts forever. Just be kind to yourself. A lot of the time guys tend to try to man up, but we don't have to do that BS. We need to take care of our minds too. You need to get into individual counseling. Now you are swinging between being violent and suicide. Neither is good. You probably need to move out for at least a few weeks to get some perspective to see if you can put this anger away. Then decide if you can actually forgive your wife and continue in your marriage, or if it would be better to divorce. Bottled up anger will kill you. I'm sure it probably doesn't help that you are somewhere other than home. Get the counseling. See if your work has an employee assistance program, EAP. If it does, call them. Take the time away to settle your thoughts. Go into a closed room and scream and cuss and yell and let the pent-up anger out. Your wife hurt you, but as a man we try to hold our feelings in. You have to in the FD up world, but sometimes you have to find release. Better to yell, scream and even cry than to let it build up until we can't deal with it anymore. Have you told her how bad it hurt you when she cheated? The safe number of suicidal thoughts to be having is 0. Get into therapy. Just get a divorce. You aren't doing your daughter any favors by staying with someone you can't stand. An unhappy marriage is worse for a child than a divorce. Trust me. It's been 3 years. You have made every effort to work past it, but you can't. That is completely okay and also completely understandable. It does, however, mean that staying in the marriage is seriously unhealthy and will emotionally damage you, your wife, and your daughter, because, even though she doesn't know why. I guarantee that she is picking up on the general tension and unhappiness in the family environment. Offing yourself is not an answer and would 100,000% fuck up your daughter permanently. Look into getting therapy for yourself. It won't fix the marriage because, quite honestly, the marriage is unfixable. What it will do is give you a space where you can be totally open and honest and get all your feelings out and work through them instead of bottling them up to convince other people that you're okay. That, in turn, should help you feel less angry and tangled up, which should help you see more clearly. To me, it seems like Hop didn't make every last effort in therapy at all. He says he is bottling up anger and I believe he isn't sharing any of this with his wife at all. If he wants to leave and call the cheating the irreconcilable difference, then that is that, and just do it. But if you're incapable of being vulnerable and opening up and being honest about your pain and anger when your wife clearly and truly wants reconciliation, then I agree with Basilop. You need to commit to your own therapy and stop pretending in silence because that's not good for anyone. I'm in an abusive relationship and can't get out. Someone please help. I just got beaten up on Christmas for literally nothing and I can't handle this anymore. I've stayed for so long with someone so horrible and abusive because I've lost everyone in my life and have attachment/abandonment issues. Also will lose my furlough and place to live if I leave. I need help desperately. I need to leave. I spend every day wishing I was dead because of him and he verbally abuses me every day. He love bombs me and makes me feel great for a day, then it's back to it. If I stay with this guy any longer I'm gonna be dead. The only reason I'm not is because there's an empty hostel next door, part of our work, and I've locked myself in. Where can I find help? I have £10. This is the worst Christmas ever and I've had a lot of bad ones. I really need some help please. I'm shaking and crying so Mike. Please update us if you need help. I am in Gloucester, so just on your outskirts. I will drive to pick you up and we have a spare bed you can crash in while you're sorting things out. Please tell us you are safe. Can you call a domestic violence shelter? I have no way to leave as my car is dead and full of mold and I have no one to start it. It's 3 AM. I have nowhere to go and I really don't know what to do. I'm in North Wales. I'd if there's shelters. ? Sad face. I'm so sorry. Do a ton of volunteer work with domestic violence organizations. If you're comfortable, PM me your location and I will research places and organizations near you to help you get out. Sometimes this subreddit breaks my heart. Hopefully someone more knowledgeable can assist you.